Hello, welcome to my budget Ignister deck profile. This has a nice couple spicy decks, so we'll get into it. Um, I thought that with the Megatons and with the Cyber Strike coming and all that, we've gotten enough good reprints. So this deck is budget now. It's pretty budget now, right? It's not as expensive as it was. It's still got a bit of a price tag, but not like what you'd expect of a top tier deck, which this deck I think is. It's definitely a big top contender. And because it's budget, no access code, hasn't been announced for a reprint, so it's not there. No crossout designator, that card's like £100. No way that's going to be budget. But let's just jump into it. First off, we've got 3 copies of a cheat sheet at Ignister. This one's kind of obvious. Best card in the deck, in my opinion. Normal summon searching monster. Like, you get all your combos off of this card. It's the best card in the deck. You know, you're obviously playing 3 copies. 3 copies of Picari, same thing. Second best card in the deck. Search any spell. You know, really good. Your 1 card starters are those 2 cards. Following that, I play 3 copies of Doyon. Now, I know a few people don't play. Some people choose not to play 3 Doyon. I think it's a really good card. Like Doyon on its own is so good. Like it can just recycle stuff. It can recycle monsters and spells. Like on its own, you can continuously stall out a slowed down game state. If you have like hand traps and a Doyon, you can just keep like just going and just recycle and recycle and recycle and recycle until you draw into a starter. I just think it's really good, and I think opening Doyon alongside one of these starters is really nice. So that's why I played 3 copies of it. Following up from Doyon, we have 1 copy of Doshin, 1 copy of Hiyari for our non-garnets, I guess, because we are actually playing Fusion, because the Fusion spell's really good, okay? It's really good, and without access code, you take everything you can get. So yeah, they can both be special summoned. They don't need the island requirement of having no monsters in the main monster zone, and so you can summon them by their own effects, recycle them with Doyon, then summon them by island. It's really good. It's really good. Doshin can put back Infant and things like that, so definitely give space for both of them in the deck. And then we have the Bururu Garnet. You don't want to draw it. I mean, like, the thing is, you're fine if you do draw it, but you don't want to. It doesn't do anything turn 1. You just search it, you make your synchro plays. Really good after this. Once you've got the synchro plays going, like, it can summon things from the grave. It's just good. Also can dump your negate for a rival from the deck when you summon it. So just a good card, but you don't want to draw it. Next up, high level Ignisters. Playing 1 Gachiri, 1 Danmari. I know people play multiple Gachiri. I personally do not currently, because the thing about Gachiri is it's really good for protecting access code, which we don't have. And so like it comes up occasionally, but on those occasions you can search it with Hiyari. You can also search it with the search spell. So you have at least 5 copies of this in the deck. You can like recycle it with Doyon if it's already gone. So like you just need the 1 copy. Danmari you never want to draw into. You just want to dump it off of Bururu. But it's your negate, so you play it. Next up, for spells, we are obviously playing 3 copies of Ignister Island. You want to see this, and the 1 Terraforming. We're playing as many copies as possible, because Infant is typically not going through, because your opponent, if they know what Ignisters do, they're probably going to stop Infant to stop you from getting Island. So having the Island in hand already is really good, and it means that you've just taken an interruption from them, basically taken a hand trap without actually losing anything. Next up, we have the 3 copies of I Meet You. Best, you know, just search spell. It works with your 1 card combo with Picari. It searches any monster in your deck. So obviously just really good. Just remember the 2300 burn, but you're probably not taking it anyway. So that's all good. Next up is 2 copies of Idol Reborn. I had to cut 1 for my cool tech, so we're playing 2. It's a really good card, but you can once you've got it in rotation, you can keep recycling it with Doyon. So it's not really necessary to play 3, but it's still a really good card. Quick play, revival is insane in this deck. I just think it's very good. Next up, 1 I Love Fusion. Yes, we are playing the Fusion. As I said with Doshin, the Fusion's good. This is Super Poly. Think of this as Super Poly, except they can respond, okay? You can fuse any of their links. They have an access code, you just fuse it away. They have like firewall dark fluid somehow that you fuse it away. They have Appaloosa, you fuse it away. They have Borrow Sword, fuse it away. They have any link monster, fuse it away. Like it's really, really good. Really good. And it's searchable. So off of like a million cards. Then one eye contact, because draw three. Card literally says draw three, so you just draw into like your entire deck. It's busted. It's so good. You play it. You play it because you're playing 4 copies of the field spell, so you play the 1 copy of eye contact. So that's it for the Ignisters. The actual Ignister eye spells. That's that. Next up, we've got the generic Signet Mining. I mean, we play Signet Mining, right? Searches any sidebars. It's another one of your 1-card starters if you have a discard. So that means you have 9 copies of your 1-card starters. Just really good, really good. Obviously, you play 3 copies of that. Now here is where my spice comes in. So CROSSOUT Designator is a card that says basically don't hand trap me. What would you do if I told you such a card already existed? So if you have Templar on the field and your opponent tries to Ghost Bell or to Skull or to like Nibiru you on the summon of Templar, or they Ghost Bell the effect of Templar, or they try and do something, I'll have you know, you can just stop them with the nifty card Sky Strike Mega Eagle Booster. This card is insane in this deck because just think about it. What is the condition on Ignister Island? No monsters in the main monster zone. What's the condition on Eagle Booster? No monsters in the main monster zone. This card can protect so many of your really important choke points on its own. So with Infant, like I said with Infant, your opponent, if they're smart, they know to hit Infant, right? But if you have an Eagle Booster, it doesn't matter. They can Ash Infant all they like. You have Eagle Booster to protect it. You're getting the field spell. It's a really insane card. You try to Nibiru on Templar summon, Eagle Booster. You have like a rival because it protects from battle destruction as well when you have enough spells in the grave. So it's really good. Okay, it's really good in this deck. It protects your choke points, and I think it's really nice. And to follow up with that, we play the 1 Engage and the 1 Widow Anchor. Engage searches. Obviously, you just search your Eagle Booster, so you have 4 copies in your deck, basically. If you have enough spells, you get your bonus card. You know, it's a bonus. It's just really good. And Widow Anchor, if you've got your Eagle Booster, you want some interruption, and you're like ending on a rival, and you don't have a synchro or something, so you go, okay, I'll go a rival Widow Anchor Danmari. It's 2 negates. I think that's just pretty good. Then, following up from that, we've just got the kind of staples. Just have 3 Imperm, 3 Ash, 3 Nibiru. Now, Imperm's getting reprinted in the Cyber Strike structure deck, so that's why I'm still calling this budget. Nibiru, I don't think is that expensive currently. Ash Blossom is the only card that is just wonky in price. Like, I got these for quite cheap when Dual Devastator first came out, but I understand that it's kind of existing in price right now. So feel free to replace this with Ghost Spell, with Veiler, whatever you want, right? But it's just such a good hand trap. It's probably the biggest non-budget part of this deck is Ash Blossom. Next thing I also forgot to mention, Eagle Booster, you can protect your own cards from Nibiru. If you have like a Templar or something, if you just have something in an extra monster zone and you want to Nibiru your opponent, feel free. Just go Nibiru, chain Eagle Booster, and your monster's fine, and you tribute their entire board. It's really good. You even get Nibiru protection, like your own Nibiru protection. It's really just it's an insane Eagle Booster's an insane card in this deck. Okay, moving on to the extra deck. We just play 2 copies of Dark Infant. Your link 1, you go into it with all your monsters. Searches your field spell, probably getting hand trapped, but that's where you protect it or have the other field spell. You could probably play 3, but 2 is fine in my opinion. Definitely play more than 1. You need more than 1 for the combo, so obviously you have to play at least 2. 1 Linger Rebo, it comes up. Like, it's a trap negate, end of the day. You can, if you make this, it's like, you can stop Imperm. You can just stop Imperm at the correct times. Also, if you're going second and your opponent's gone into the extra monster zone that is not beneficial for you, when you make the infant here, instead of letting the infant move, you can tribute it off with Link Karibo, summon the Link Karibo outside Templar zones, and then still get your revive 3 and go from there. Next, we are playing 2 Splash Mage. You need 1 for the combo. I think the second's really nice just for comeback mechanics. Just you reviving things is inherently good in Yu-Gi-Oh nowadays. 1 Wicked, need it for the combo. Searches Baruru. Yeah, just really, really good, really, really good. You make it all the combo, and it's pretty good. 1 Update Jammer. I'm not sure about this one, honestly. I've been flipping between this and Security Dragon. I'm honestly thinking about going for Security Dragon currently, but I think you could probably play either and be alright. Security Dragon works better with Nibiru, and I probably would be playing Security Dragon. I just cannot find mine currently, but Update Jammer does the job. 1 transcode. I don't think you need more than 1. Without going into access code, it's just there as a bit of revival. It does pair nicely with Update. It's there. It's a nice kind of extender. Not like yeah, it's good card. It's a good card. 1 Fire Phoenix. You need this to search. You need to search a Chi-Chi with a fire. So you play Fire Phoenix. It's a decent card. It can make some funny. You can win out of nowhere with some funny burns, but it's mainly there for a Chi-Chi. When we get Heat Soul, probably gonna replace it. I'm not gonna lie. Next up, we play the 1 Templar. Templar, obviously, the integral part of your combo. You need this to go off. That's why you can protect it with Eagle Booster. Really, really good, really, really insane. Just a broken card, revival on top of all of its broken effects. Just be aware that it needs different names. Just remember that. The Arrival Cyburst, your end boss monster for going first. You make this on 4000 attack, and you have something else, and you are fine. Not much gets over this. It's unaffected. Like, the only things really getting over it are a access code or a Boral Sword, perhaps. And if you have Danmari, you'd stop both of them, because you just go Danmari on them as they attempt to leave the main phase, and then they do not have the attack boost, so you are fine. Next, fusion target, Earth Golem, because this is the reason why you can get super polyed. Also, Earth Golem's damage effect, where you don't take any damage on the turn it's summoned, it does come up, because it's I Meet You specifically says that you take damage. So this stopping that means you do not take the 2300 at the end of the turn. Also, it deals double damage. It doubles its attack points on anything in the extra from the extra deck, meaning it goes up to 4600. That is quite big. And if it dies by battle, you get a revival on top of all of that. So definitely a good card. I think it's kind of slept on. You could even side Super Poly for it. Next up, Light Dragon. Light Dragon makes some of your OTKs insane. It provides protection. Really, really, really good card. I think they definitely play it. Then finally, your 2 Synchros, Wind Pegasus, Ignister, and Cyberse Quantum Dragon. Also, yeah, Light Dragon lets you search for Picari off of I Meet You. Wind Pegasus, back row destruction. You go up against a back row deck, you go, haha. It helps really good with OTKs as well because you can clear with a back row, and it's also more interruption when it's in the graveyard. Really, really, really good. Quantum Dragon is your main end board with Arrival. Whilst you control Quantum and Arrival, your opponent can only target Quantum for attacks and effects. And it's a bounce when they attack it. So they have to basically have 2 attacks to deal with Quantum Dragon. And it's really good. It's really good going second, so just bouncing something and attacking again. Really, really good card. Definitely, definitely, definitely you have to play this card. I think it's mandatory in the deck. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Alright, so yes. Next, I'm going to go over just a basic 1-card combo for the deck, so I'll see you all in a second. Okay, here we are. We're going to start off with the basic 1-card combo. This is a Chi-Chi or Picari, but we'll go over the Chi-Chi version. It's quite simple. So first off, you just want to normal summon a Chi-Chi, use its effect to search any monster. So you'll just search for Picari. Then you're going to link off a Chi-Chi for Dark Infant. You're going to use Infant's effect. This is the extra monster turn, by the way. You're going to use Infant's effect to search for Ignister Island. You're going to activate Ignister Island. You will then special summon Picari by Island's effect. Picari's effect is going to search you an I spell. You're going to search for I Meet You. You're going to activate I Meet You. You're going to reveal in your extra deck Dark Templar. Then what you're going to do is search for Doyon. You're going to link these two off for a copy of Cyburst Wicked. Then you're going to use Island Effect again, special summon Doyon. Now, this is where you want to just pay attention. You want to go Chainlink 1 Cyburst Wicked, Chainlink 2 Doyon. Remember to chain block so that your Wicked can go off completely. If your Doyon gets negated, that's fine. So long as you have any other Ignister that you haven't summoned by Island, you're fine. You definitely want Wicked as Chainlink 1, Doyon Chainlink 2. So Doyon, you'd want to target your normal summon. So in this case, a Chi-Chi. You target your normal summon. Add it back to hand. Wicked will banish. It actually banishes at cost, so always remember to do that. You can banish the Templar. Doesn't typically matter, but then it searches Bururu for you. Then you want to link these two off to summon Splash Mage. You want to trigger Doyon here. Remember to trigger Doyon here because it was used as Cyburst Link material, you can add an I spell from your grave back to your hand. You want to add I Meet You. I Meet You is hard once per turn, but it's a nice follow-up for next turn. Also, I'd like to point out, right, this is off of one card. This is off of one card at this point, right? We've got 3 in hand off of one card. Island Effect, you're going to special summon Bururu. Bururu effect on summon to dump from deck to graveyard. You're going to send Danmari from your deck to your graveyard. Then you're going to use Splash Mage to revive any Ignister. It does not matter. Then you want to link summon for 3. You'll go into that Templar that you revealed. Now you're not taking the 2300. You will then use Island to special summon the one that you did normal summon. You make sure to summon it outside of Templar Zone. Or if you do summon it into Templar Zone, do not trigger Templar yet. I've actually made Templar on the wrong zone. Pretend I made Templar over here. So then what you want to do is you want to link summon for 1 for Infant. You want to go Chainlink. You want to activate Dark Templar because the monster was summoned into its zone. Remember that Dark Templar and Infant do not activate at the same time. They will activate in the chain link together, but your opponent does have a time to respond to Dark Templar. Do not try to chain block Templar with Infant. That's not something you can do, and you could get called out by it and then get maybe an infringement by a judge. So give your opponent the chance to respond to Templar. If they don't, however, you can chain Dark Infant to Templar. Infant will move the zone across, and we're going to change its type to Divine. And Templar will revive 3. Typically, you want to revive a Chi-Chi, Bururu, and Pikari, because they're all nice different attributes. Then you want to synchro summon these Bururu and Pikari. You want to make Cyburst Quantum Dragon. And then you want to trigger Bururu here, because it was used as synchro summon for a Cyburst synchro. You can revive the other synchro material. Now at this point, this is where that combo works, going all the way up to this point, going first or second. If you're going first, you go for Quantum. If you're going second, you go for Wind Pegasus. It does not matter. It both trigger Bururu. But if you're going first, what you want to do now, you just link for link 6. And you can just make the Arrival Cyburst on 4,000 attack points. And you've got the Destruction, if your opponent has got something, but you're going first anyway. You've got the Destruction, you've got the Quantum, you've got the Danmari in the graveyard, which is a negate because you control the Link 6. If you are going second, however, I always find it better to, instead of having Quantum, go for Wind, have this, this, and this. Now, if you're going second, what you need to make sure you remember is that when Bururu revives the monster used as synchro material, that monster does not have its effects negated. It does not have its effects negated. That means Pikari has its level modulation effect live. You can then Pikari, target a Chi-Chi. A Chi-Chi becomes level 4. Overlay these two for Light Dragon at Ignister. Next up, you can use Light Dragon's effects, detach raw material, to destroy 4 monsters your opponent controls because you control 4 Ignisters. You can also use Wind Pegasus effect to destroy 4 back row your opponent controls because you control 4 Ignisters. This deck is really good going second and first. It's a really cool deck. Next, if they have a monster left, you want to hit over it with Dark Templar. If Dark Templar destroys a monster, it can revive any monster in your graveyard. You typically want to revive the Danmari if you haven't used it for a negate because it's got big attack points. Then you can also attack, attack, attack. If they don't have anything left, this is game. If they do, when any of your other Cyberses deal battle damage, you can use Light Dragon's effect to detach material to revive Splash Mage. Now, Splash Mage, Light Dragon, Dark Templar, Wind Pegasus are exactly 8,000 points of damage. So if they do not have a monster, then this board is game because you go 2-3 with Wind Pegasus, you trigger Light Dragon here, revive the Splash Mage, 2-3 with Infant Templar, 2-3 with Light Dragon, and 11 with Splash Mage for game. And this combo is done off of just Ichichi or Picari, and you still have I Meet You at the end of the combo. So this is a one card combo that overall is a plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a +6 combo on its own. Just let that sink in. Let that sink in how really good this deck is. Okay, well, hopefully you enjoyed my spicy Ignister deck profile. And I hope anyone getting their hands on Ignisters in the Megatins can use my profile as a frame of reference. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitch. I'm live there quite frequently. I do a lot of dueling. I do a lot of viewer duels. Definitely follow me on Twitch. It's Lou TCG. And yes, I'll see you around at some point. Have a good one.